She is very caring and family is always in the first place for her. She is a wonderful housewife and loves to cook and create comfort, take care of her husband and kids. But at the same time, she does not have high expectations from men, but just wants to be loved. She also looks like a sexy runway supermodel. Something like that. Apparently, several of my friends from India on a language exchange site imagined me. They were ready to bring me to Mumbai as soon as I'll say yes and make me a happy wife there. And I was 15. I don't know if you have ever heard of such phenomenon as Slavic women. Most likely you have. Leave a like if you haven't, leave a comment if you're breathing. So it's a Russian, Ukrainian or Belarusian woman and so on. We're all different in fact, but then it comes to such phenomenon as ideal woman for marriage,
It's time to stop!
we are often combined into one large group of Slavic wives from Eastern Europe. If you Google the best foreign women for marriage and relationships, what I don't advise you to do, just don't. I will check. Then Ukrainian and Russian women will definitely be in the top 3, if not in the first place. Does it flatter me? In a way, yes, if it were true. Of course, if a good-hearted man are interested in dating a Russian just because he's interested in the culture or something like that, that's amazing. You are a free person. You can do whatever you want. But there is such a frightening phenomenon as the Slavic mail order bride, where in general men order Slavic women for themselves as in some Oriflame catalog. Question: why does it even exist? So, is it true that Slavic woman is a perfect match for everyone? No, you've been bamboozled. There are many factors that had led to the emergence of such sexualization and objectification of Slavic women. It is rooted in a long history of stereotypes and prejudices that portrays them as exotic, submissive, and hypersexual. These stereotypes are perpetuated by many media and advertising. Well, because sex sells. And which sells even more than knowing that Russian girls is hot? Only watch they want you only because you are not from the Soviet Union. It is considered what in Russia and in other countries of the former Soviet Union they live badly. They do not have the same equal rights with men as they have in the West. They also suffer from a low standard of living and low salaries. Hence, some people have a stereotype that from the foreigner men they only want money, which is strange because some men on the contrary sure that they're not that mercantile at all comparing to women from their country. I feel like one of them is wrong, or both. However, when it comes to raising girls in Russia, we do still have clear gender roles. On the type that girls are beautiful flowers and should know how to cook and keep the house and themselves clean, and boys are the future men who are not allowed to cry and need to support the family. But still, this is more characteristic of the older generation, and I would watch someone to try to say something like that to a Russian Gen Z. I'm also Gen Z, but some younger representatives of us is kinda scary. In addition, many are sure that in Russia women are much more numerous than men. There are not enough men and the competition among women is very high, and that's why Russian women are so well dressed and even go to the grocery store all dressed up and with perfect makeup. Sorry, without makeup because we are naturally that beautiful. In general, here are few men, and those men who we have, alcoholics and tyrants. That's why Slavic women are so desperate and sexy. Just beckon them with equal rights and you can already order them by mail. And let me speak from my heart, at some point it is true, but mostly not. On the one hand, yes, Russia is still not an ideal environment with the perfect equal rights, and we still do not have such law as a domestic violence law that will protect women who are subjected to physical and emotional abuse in marriages. This is a really huge problem, but as you already know, our government is busy with something else. But feminism here, thanks God, exists and still continues to develop. In fact, equal rights of men and women, as well as equal work opportunities for women were spelled out in the 1977 Constitution of the USSR. So as Slavic or Russian women, we do not have any particular inclination to the patriarchal structure of the family. Slavic women, just like any other woman in the world, they don't want to stay at home and take care of our people. They strive to be independent, have a high income and status, as well as successful career and self-realization. And I guess I did not surprise you with that. I hope. Of course, it is worth admitting that women of my mother's generation, they just mostly had two jobs, at the factory and at home with children. And even though now we have a ban in Russia on the same-sex marriages, a lot of people here were raised in the same-sex family, mother and grandmother. And men often went out to buy cigarettes and never come back, or come back but drunk. So yes, to some extent, women in Russia were going through hard times, then they had to take care of the whole family by themselves, to take care of children and earn money. And indeed, for many, the opportunity to have only one job, caring for children and home, could be considered a real gift. But this is not some special mindset or reverence for traditions. This is just simple human tiredness, the desire to finally relax and get the very security and calmness that money gives. And although this time is long gone, thanks God, and everything changed for the better, unfortunately, our good old capitalism managed to take advantage of this. The human trafficking market for Slavic women is a multi-billion-dollar industry that preys on vulnerable women who are seeking a better life. These women are often lured into false promises of employment or marriage, only to find themselves trapped in a life of sexual slavery and exploitation. The reality of human trafficking is far from the romanticized image of mail-order brides who will be happy to leave their country and be a caring wife. It is brutal and dehumanizing crime that destroys lives of countless women. Moreover, the idea of Slavic women dream of living abroad and having financial stability in return of obedience and any other dubious services is just a trick of such sites, of course. And I don't even know if it's worth saying that such sites are almost always a scam, and the girls literally works there or is forced by life circumstances to work. To expect that she'll love you and obey you and take care just because she was born like this, an absolute lie that such sites lure their customers with. And it makes it bad for men who don't get what they were promised and women who become literally a commodity. I understand who use such services and why, and I understand people who are not averse to profit from these people, but that does not change the fact that it's complete bullshit.
Guilty.
And some time ago, some of this was close to the truth, especially after the collapse of the USSR. Now women in Russia are not much different from women in the rest of the world, and only a certain percentage of people who learn a foreign language or are interested in the culture of our countries have a desire to get to know a foreigner. And they're not people who choose a family instead of career, how all sorts of sites like to show it. They probably want both, just like you. And the desire and need to urgently leave the country because of poverty no longer exists in Russia. Well, did not exist. Now I'm not sure. So I wanna say that Slavic woman is not just an object of desire or something else. And the stereotypes that they are different from the women of your country, it is just a stereotype. And on one hand, stereotypes are fine, like you can and you should joke about it. I'm always here for that. And that in general does not cause much harm because smart people like you and me, we know that all people on the planet are different and same at the same time, regardless of gender, race, and color of the skin or hair. That's why they're called stereotypes, in order to be very inaccurate. And on the other hand, if there were no such people who believed that Slavic women can cook better and obey their husband, there would be no such sites as mail-order bride. So let's challenge these stereotypes that dehumanize Slavic women and make them just a perfect object for love and cooking. And to support that, in the next video, I will make for you few Russian dishes and you will see that I will make them not eatable. So please follow. As always, I will wait for your opinion in the comments, and thank you so much for watching this video until the end. Please support my little channel with likes and comments, and you can also join my community on Boosty and Patreon. I will be happy to see you there. Take care of yourself, and пока-пока.